Trump calls Harris a beautiful woman. He didn't mean it as a compliment. For decades, has built elements of his public persona around his proximity to and crass rhetoric about women. First, went after race. Now, he's going after her looks. She looks like the most beautiful actress ever to live. Actually, she looked very much like a great first lady. She didn't look like told tech mogul during a meandering live stream mispronouncing the vice president's name. But of course, she's a beautiful woman, so we'll leave it at that, right? He was referring to an illustration of on the cover of this week's, which he called a publicity-free ride. But the comments from which quickly navigated away fit neatly into a familiar playbook for the former president's tendency to fixate on women's appearance. It's demeaning. It would be equally demeaning if she wanted to discuss his physical appearance, said strategist who has advocated for policies to quell workplace harassment in the aftermath of. That's not what rational people are looking for in their president. They're looking for somebody who can lead the country and address the concerns that people in this country have. For decades, has built elements of his public persona around his proximity to and crass rhetoric about beautiful women. You know, it doesn't really matter what the media, right, as long as you've got a young and beautiful piece of ass, he said in a 1991 interview with Magazine. He used to own the beauty pageant, and in 2005 boasted to that he went backstage while the contestants were undressed. In 2013, he told a contestant on it must be a pretty picture, you dropping to your. And in 2016, campaign almost sunk after audio from 2005 leaked of him bragging about groping women comments he brushed off as locker room talk. More recently, was found liable last year for sexually abusing writer in a department store dressing room in the 1990s. Earlier this year, he was found guilty of 34 felony counts of falsifying business records, a case that emerged over a hush money payment to a porn star who says she slept with him. This year, as scrambled to land on a consistent line of attack against they have struggled to keep race and gender out of their criticism. Lawmakers on the called the daughter of and Indian immigrants, a higher prompting party leadership to warn them to it off. Trump's campaign and its surrogates ultimately settled on attacking progressive record and, to a lesser extent, her laugh. But has struggled to keep her identity out of his messaging. Behind closed doors, the former president has called a bitch, the reported. A campaign spokesperson denied the allegation to the outlet. It's a continual focus on her skin color that she has. It's a continuous focus on calling her stupid, calling her a bitch, said. Some are code words, and some are just outright misogynistic terms that would never, ever, ever be applied to a man. In a statement to T said the media's negative portrayal of and his treatment of women is entirely false. She added that first-term economic policies uplifted women by putting more money in our pockets, and he also made expanding access to childcare and paid family leave top priorities in his, and he will do so again. Trump has used sexist language against other women he has campaigned against, too. If can't satisfy her husband, what makes her think she can satisfy, he tweeted in 2015 before deleting the post. Throughout the 2016 campaign, he repeatedly called Clinton nasty and suggested she was weak, which many viewed as a sexist dog whistle. And last month, during a live interview at a journalists' conference, suggested had previously only identified as before she turned for political gain. In an attempt to clean up the comments on running mate Vance, whose wife is, he believes is whatever she says she is but behaves like a chameleon.